See resting.
You tell them majority. Come closer together. Come closer.
Reuben Rahming. This is Nicholas Jacks, and this is also Mark Morris. We are all industry representatives.
Okay, now can you tell me the issue at hand today?
The issue at hand is the escalation of Bohemian patrons off Bay Street. Affording of free access and freedom of movement throughout Bay Street on the public transportation system.
Okay, now tell me how is this affecting all of us? How you found out about it?
Well, apart from how it's affecting all of us, I think the most operative word is all of us. Because what we're actually seeing here going on in our country as a whole, and we in the public service industry, we're impacted by all the nuances, all the social ills that impact us daily, because we encounter our people daily. What we begin to see here now is what we see as a systematic approach. Nationally, it's been going on for quite some time, towards the loss of access of the people to their rightful patrimony, their rightful land. We see this demonstrated many examples. We see many times where we move ahead and we give hundreds of millions of dollars worth of concessions to expats and hotels. And at the end of the day, what began to happen is we now have to pay to access these places. And workers, when they want to patronize or be in the same hotel after work, some of them even get fired. It's a problem of right of access. When we begin to look at it, we see how much of our best land and beachfront properties are sold and given to expats, even citizenship. And at the end of the day, they're walled in and we are walled out. And we don't have access to our beaches, and the vendors are being constantly cast out of the beaches at the whim of these persons. The issue here is access. We have over and over again persons who will come in with a good idea and a few dollars and a good sound bite, provide a job, and then they lord over the Bahamian worker as if he has no rights in his own country. We're talking about access, we're talking about privilege under our rights. And it doesn't matter how we cook the books, you know, it doesn't matter how we try to spin this situation, it doesn't matter how we look at it. We all know in our hearts as Bahamian that this is a very true fact, that in the Commonwealth of Bahamas we are systematically being kicked out of our own capital, and thus it narrows down to us. If we lose our capital in war, you know you lost your nation. And so now this issue speaks to what is happening and what has been a systematic approach to remove the average Bahamian person from having access to the area of downtown Bay Street. You know, for years we've seen how powerful merchants and again even expats have been displeased by groups of Bahamians actually having access to their Bay Street. There are problems with Junkanoo and the bleachers, they complain about that. They want passengers to come downtown, but they have a problem with you having to wait there to catch a bus or to transit through downtown. They don't mind crowds of tourists, but they just don't want crowds of you. This is a systematic problem that we have here. This is our constitutional and our heritage. This is a right that we have. We have a right. And this is systematically and diabolically being snaked away from us. And so the stand that we take here today is not just simply a bus issue. It's about those valued passionate that we have. We see now that the removal of this passionate collection site from the Royal Bank of Canada is going to result in mama and the child and the student and the household mother, the worker, most of them having to now traverse up to half a mile now to the outskirts of town. That sounds familiar, hey? To the outskirts of town, where they got to congregate in large quantities without shelter, regardless of the weather, to be collected at one spot. I mean, that is blatant disregard. We cannot allow that to happen to our people in our capital. If any expat or any banker has an issue with Bahamian people being in the Bahamian capital, I think the one who should be removed is you know who. Yes, sir. Yes, and not yes, we, you know us. Yes, sir. If there's a problem with the word Bahamian, then you have a problem with the word Bahamas. And no government official should be supporting such an endeavor. We know. We've sat in the meetings. We've seen. It is sad enough that number 1 Bay Street is now foreign owned, despite Bahamian buyers wanting to come. And now, you tell me, the people that we have become acquainted with every day, catching our buses, now we're going to have to march to the outskirts of town in order to be accommodated. When we look at this, and this impromptu notice, which was no notice, it was a stated fact, it was a posted warning, we now have to make a direct appeal to our number 1 man. And we stand here now and we make a direct appeal to our leader and to our Prime Minister, the son of a public service driver, our protector of our heritage. And we say, please, Mr. Prime Minister, pick up that powerful pen of yours and change this. Don't allow us to be disadvantaged. We're not asking for crown land. We're not asking yet to buy no hotels. We're not asking for anything big. We say pick up a pen and allow a single passenger collection spot to be secured for the average Joe, for the people you represent. Do not allow us to be disadvantaged in our very own capital. And that is our request. However, during the course of this week, and realizing that this is a deliberate and calculated act to remove and to not allow us any input into this decision, we will collectively be coming together on Thursday and we will discuss our way forward. We realize that it's not only in our interest, but it's in the public interest and the interest of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that we do what we can to stop this diabolical habit of telling Bahamian people they must break. And yet the foreign guys will come to us and do whatever they want. We're saying we will in the bend, but we will never break when it comes down to our rights as citizenry. So we report back to you. We'll let you know exactly after our discussions what our way forward is going to be.
Last question, how do you think this is even affecting the tourism industry in any kind of way?
Listen here, why do we always jump on the tourism industry? Why do we always put the cart before the horse? When they book a ticket, they come to the Bahamas. You know who is the Bahamas? The Bahamians. If there's no us, there's no value in the tourism industry. Why do we keep jumping to the tourism? If the country isn't safe for the Bahamians, it's not safe for the tourists. If the country is safe for the tourists and not for the Bahamian, that's a disservice to us. They come here to see us. They come here to be around us. They come here to hear us. They come here to experience us. But yet every time we say something about improving us, keeping our culture, the first thing you do is point to somebody else and say, what about them? It is sad that people respect us on the outside more than us and our leaders respect ourselves. The Bahamas is not a location, it is a people. It is a culture, it is a spirit, it is a society. And they visit this because they want to get to know me, they want to get to know you. They want to see how we do it. They don't want to see themselves or they'll stay home.
Thank you.
You can look at your flyer and see what they have to say. Oh,
a copy of your...